If they deny you your right to record that meeting, yeah.
What a great point this is by Malibu Dallas. He's the #1 CPS advocate for people fighting CPS cases that I've ever seen. That guy is extremely thorough, extremely knowledgeable, and he's helped countless. I don't know how many testimonies he got, but I see testimony after testimony, people fighting off CPS, getting their rights with their kids restored. And that's a guy who talks about and mentions how he was trafficked through CPS. What better person to help you in dealing with the CPS case than somebody who was trafficked when they were younger? You know, the government is coming against you. Well, let me get to his point. I don't know why I didn't look at this before. It's a very simple point, but it's very profound. CPS is bringing a case against you. The CPS wants to have a secret meeting with you. You're not allowed to record? If CPS is a public entity, why can't you record? You can record cops walking around and arresting people. The court can record a proceeding against you. When you go to the courthouse, there's cameras everywhere around the corner. There's cameras in the courtroom. There's cameras in the hallway. There's cameras on the outside of the courthouse. Why can't you record something? Whether it's a CPS case or a family court, I would never say I know as much as Malibu Dallas, or even a guy like there's a guy on Facebook that deals with CPS cases. He's a little bit of a hustler. I forgot his name, but he's still extremely knowledgeable. See, I'll give people props even though they're a hustler. Like, he charges, I think, way too much, but I forget his name. Anyway, I talked to you guys about, if a court orders you can't videotape during a visitation exchange, why not? It's a public place. There's cameras on every street corner. There's cameras in every building. Like, if you pull up in front of a Starbucks has video surveillance cameras on the outside. So they have them on the street, in the parking lot, and Starbucks has their own. Why can't you record? Because they're just being bigoted and they're just granting requests because the mother said, "Oh, I'm traumatized by his recording. It hurts my feelings." Grow up, biatch. You're being recorded everywhere else you go. You record yourself and post selfies all the time. But this is a great point in addition to what I've said before about that stuff. So this stuff sounds really applicable in family court. So if the mother says, "Oh, I don't want him recording visitation exchanges," that's stupid, because if everybody's videotaping, then everybody will be on their best behavior. Don't you want people on their best behavior for the child? But attorneys say, "Oh, okay, she's complaining. Let me bow down and worship her," even though as illogical as what she's saying, it's so illogical. I'm not going to argue against it because you don't blaspheme a mother. And I'll just let the judge decide. And the judge says you don't blaspheme a mother because that judge used to be a family law attorney and an SIMP and a little biatch who wouldn't challenge anything a mother says. So everybody's catering to the Jezebel spirit and the curse of Jezebel that's dominating you. Okay? But here's the rights that you have in family court. Go read Troxel versus Granville yourself. Don't trust me. I'm just pointing to what it says and what's out there. You have a constitutional right to the care and custody of your kid under the 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment, life, liberty, and you have a right to life, liberty, and property, and it can't be taken without due process. That liberty interest includes the right to raise a family and be a part of your kid's life. The government can't interfere with that. If the government interferes with that, you have to have due process. What's due process? A fair and equitable hearing, a right to be heard, the fundamental fairness doctrine. A right to be heard includes the right to be able to present your case and fully be heard. That includes evidence. So, see, when you guys know everything that you need to know, you can slap stuff together and piece a puzzle together as you need. If you know how to use every chess piece on the board, you could knock out the queen from the other side with your bishop over here, or your rook over here, or your knight over here, because you know how to move each one, or you can anticipate the moves. If you don't know how each piece moves or how it applies, you can't put a different strategy together each time because you don't even know what you're doing. If you know your constitutional rights, your due process right, the duty of care of the court and the laws and stuff, you can slap something like this together. Your Honor, she doesn't want me to gather evidence. You have a duty of care and responsibility to the welfare of the child. You have to do what's in the best interest of the child. So you have to make a full reasonable inquiry into the welfare of the child. If it's your responsibility to hear all the evidence as to what's best for the child, you should hear evidence from the mother's side, from the guardian ad litem, from the child psychologist, from the parenting coordinator, and from me. And part of my evidence is how the mother treats me during visitation exchanges, and even worse, how she treats the child and is toxic during visitation exchanges and coaches the child to not want to go with me and all this other stuff, which is psychological abuse of the child. Why would you not want to care about psychological abuse? But if I put the cameras up, at least she'll be on her best behavior, and I won't catch her doing anything, which would be helpful because she'll stop abusing the child like this during the exchanges. And so it's a win for everybody. How can it possibly hurt for me to take video evidence? Around public, anybody can videotape. You're just ordering that I can't do what everybody else in public can do? How come this court can do it? If it's so oppressive and harassing for her to be videotaped at a visitation exchange, it's so oppressive and harassing for these cameras to be up here, the recording of this hearing, in the hallway and outside. I demand that you take them all down because I feel oppressed like the mother does. You see how illogical and dumb that sounds? But see, the mother, it's okay for her to say crazy illogical stuff against the father because we don't give a crap about a father. When I turn the same logic around and put it on the courts, or if I go in there and say, oh, I'm trying to get an ex parte order, emergency order to let me access the child. Oh, well, there's no blood and guts going on and no blood being spilled. Oh, okay. So then I'll just go pick up the kid from school and I'll keep the kid for 3 months all throughout the summer, not give the kid back. And you won't grant an ex parte to order her to give the kid back because there's no blood and guts. See, when you turn it around, then they go, whoa, wait a minute. It's kind of like when black people were free from slavery, they said, okay, we want our Second Amendment right to buy guns. Whoa, wait a minute. Don't go that far. We let you go. Stop wanting all that kind of stuff. You might create a revolution and start acting, stand your ground and keep everything real equal. Back to the evidence thing, though, specifically. See, if you use people's logic and you take the court's argument, the court's reasoning, and say, how can I take this and apply it to something else and make it look extremely stupid? And you do that, you paint a picture of how stupid the court looks. But you don't got any testicles. And you don't have any testosterone, and neither does your attorney, so everybody just stands down, and you lay down on the ground, and you arch your back really good and put your glutes up in there as high as you can so they can easily ram you from behind and take it up the rear. And you just love it. I love getting railroaded. As long as I'm not hurting the mother's feelings, she can rape me financially, physically, emotionally, take my kids away. Not physically, but take my kids away. God, we're such a bunch of PABs. Punk, gluteus maximus, female dogs. The reason why you're getting railroaded, first and foremost, if you're not standing up for yourself, is because you're not standing up for yourself. Oh, well, the courts are corrupt. Okay, then go run and hide and disappear. Either you stay, there's no middle ground, there's no gray area. You either lay down and take it or you stand up. Just like a bully at school. You give the bully your lunch money, you stand up to them, and then you're going to have a fight on your hands. Actually, some bullies might tuck their tail and run because they were just living off intimidation and they're really cowards deep down. And they don't want to fight when it comes down to it. Or you might have a fight and you might get a bloody lip, but they're not going to want to fight you every single day. Or you might actually knock them out. But you won't even try. Why? Because you're scared. When you're in a state of fear, you're in an irrational state, and you're living your life based upon that. Well, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. Just like a kid on a diving board. I can't jump off here. What happens? I'll get wet, I'll fall, I'll drop, gravity will pull me. All these paranoias. Just jump in. Watch another kid. He jumped in, he's alive. Let me do it. Oh, I got all these irrational fears, so they just stand there and look like an idiot. I know that's a kid, but they look dumb being afraid of just jumping into water. It's not going to kill them on a 1-meter platform. But if the judge has a duty of care, we have case law in Washington that says the judge doesn't have to listen to guardian ad litem alone. The judge doesn't have to take it. The parents not only have a right to object to and fight and argue the guardian ad litem report, they have an obligation to the court so the court can hear all sides, so the court can weigh the balance and make a decision. We have case law about that. And you guys aren't even looking at this stuff because you're a bunch of PUSSYs that won't even attempt to even try and step out and do something. I want to stick to my loser ways and continue to lose in court. James, can you help me? Oh, that's too hard and scary, so I'm just going to stick to my loser ways. What did you even call me for then? You have a right to be fully heard and present evidence. Evidence at visitation exchange is evidence that's applicable and relevant. The court is denying you access to get evidence to present your case, and they're going to take away your constitutional right. Argue that stuff.